Hello, this is week 12, and this week is all about cognitive development in the primary years. We're talking about the early school agers. I'm looking at first, second, and third grade when I talk about this. And this is really a very thick chapter, lots of great information in there. So be careful with it. You'll learn an awful lot. Okay, but I do want to talk about a couple of things. Um, Intelligence is one of the first thing they talk about. Children don't take intelligence tests any further. They gave up on that a long time ago because they were not an accurate measurement, certainly, of how well children do or do not perform in school. All right, they talk about Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences. Be really aware of what you're reading here because this makes such an enormous difference in how well children learn. They all learn different. They have different learning styles, and you're going to use this in your assignment this week. So just pointing that out. Okay. The other thing I want to point out is there's a section on Piaget. Please read this very carefully, especially if you have not already completed the OSAT. Piaget is all over the OSAT. His stages of development are on there. And this is a great way to look at all those stages and the things that happen within those stages, such as the decentration, where they stop thinking the whole world revolves around them. Make sure you know the difference between assimilation and accommodation. For this, I always think of a set of file folders. Children, they put everything up here that they see and learn, and they put it in a folder. So say, for instance, the child goes to grandma's house and grandma has a little dachshund. Dachshund says woof, dachshund is furry, dachshund licks the kid in the face. So, okay, he files that away, puts it in that dachshund dog file folder. Then the next day, he goes over to Aunt's house. Well, Aunt has a snake for a pet. It's in a glass container, and you can't pet it, and it looks like it might, the tongue's coming out and those kinds of things. It's her pet, just like grandma had a pet, but it's completely different. So you have to put that in a new file folder. It doesn't fit in the assimilation phase. If it was a dog, it would be assimilated, but it's accommodated. When you accommodate, you have to put it in a new file folder because it's different from knowledge that you already had. Please know the difference. It's all over the OSAT. Make sure you know about Vygotsky and how Vygotsky is different from Piaget. And I'll tell you the main difference on that is Vygotsky's social-cultural theory. He believed that culture and social activities had an enormous impact on children's learning. It certainly impacts their language development. Children learn the language of their culture. Vygotsky talked about things such as personal speech, private speech, and we all do that. And children learn by talking out loud about what they're doing. I still do that when I'm reading, like how to set up a new computer or how to do a new program. I sometimes read it out loud to myself. Vygotsky also came up with the zone of proximal development, which is where the best learning takes place, which is right at the part where the child already knows how to do something and you're teaching something new. And the other thing, let's see, I want to talk about here. Keep going through here. There's a critique of theories, memory. Children's memories are horrible. In the early school ages, they will get better, but I know teachers get frustrated sometimes. They'll say, Junior, I told you that 20 times yesterday. Why don't you remember it? He doesn't remember it because his memory is awful. That's part of their development. So please know that as teachers, you're just going to have to repeat the same stuff over and over and over. They just don't remember. Okay, this week, don't forget, you're turning in two things. You're turning in your child development case study, and you're turning in the cognitive styles. But the cognitive styles is not a huge assignment. So it'll all work out. It'll all be fine. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will be happy to set up a Zoom. Bye. Have a good week.